Defending champion Crvena zvezda is still on a roll, with the 14th win in as many games coming in Skopje against j.t.d. In the game of the round, Cedevita defeated Buducnost in Podgorica, while Partizan came out on top against Mornar despite all the injuries. His step-back jumper has been a lethal weapon for Mornar this season. Meet the sharp shooting guard Tay Waller. Stick around as we have a new list of top 5 plays of the round waiting for you at the end of our show. Welcome to ABBA magazine. Nikola Rebic and Crvena zvezda parted ways by mutual consent. The young point guard will move to Mega Leks after winning 6 trophies with Crvena zvezda and a gold medal at the European Championship in Italy with the Serbian under-20 national team. Rebic is still recovering from mononucleosis and should join his new teammates following the New Year's Eve. Nikola Korac is no longer a member of Mornar. The team from Bar cut ties with the point guard who averaged 1.7 points and 2 assists per game after his debut in the 5th round of the competition. Krka reinforced its front court with Duško Bunić. The 27-year-old 207 cm tall Bunić was a member of Vojvodina, Buducnost, Igokea and j.t.d. in the past and averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds per game for the team from Skopje in the previous season. One of the most talented players in the region, Blaž Mesicek, left the ranks of Olympia and signed a multi-year contract with the Italian side Enel Brindisi. 19-year-old Slovenian averaged 12 points per game for Olympia in ABBA League. In the most anticipated game of the 14th round, Cedevita pulled off a win against Buducnost in Podgorica 86-84. The only remaining ABBA League representative in the Euro Cup in the second round got even for the defeat at the hands of Buducnost at their home court in the first round and strengthened its position in the playoff race. It was the 3rd consecutive loss for the team from Podgorica, 4th overall in the past 6 rounds. The home team was in the lead for the majority of the game, thanks to a high percentage of three-pointers, 12 out of 24, with a high success rate for 2 as well, but paid the price for committing too many turnovers and failing to secure defensive rebounds, allowing the visiting team to grab as many as 12 offensive boards. Cedevita used them to compensate for poor execution on the jump shots and stayed in the hunt, but with 5 points and 5 assists from Marcus Williams, Buducnost went up by 8 at the end of the first quarter. Šurna and Hobson tied the game for the Croatian champion, but the home team still found a way to stay on top 50-47 at the half. Cedevita kept grinding, but the script remained the same in the 3rd period as Buducnost kept the lead with shots from long range. The visiting team grabbed the lead for the first time in the 32nd minute, but it was short-lived. With both teams in foul trouble, a dramatic final minute was approaching. One of the rare few three-pointers for the visiting team by Marko Tomas gave Cedevita a 4-point lead. Subotic brought more drama from the free throw line, but it was Tomas to the rescue once again for the visitors as he grabbed an offensive rebound and scored what turned out to be the game-winning basket. Buducnost had 5 seconds left for the overtime or the win, but couldn't come up with the play. Šurna was the leading scorer for the winners with 17 in just 13 minutes of playing time. Jameson Boatwright added 16. Game winner Tomas stopped at 13, while Miro Bilan had a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. Top scorer for Buducnost was Williams with 17 points. Jameson Gordic added 15, but even 12 points in crucial moments from Sad Šehović couldn't help the home team. teams are now leveled with 10 wins and 4 losses so far.
4 men, Igokea. You run set here, and the moment that you pass your shoulder,
Crvena zvezda kept its perfect season in ABA League alive with a win in Skopje. Less than 48 hours after a huge win over Maccabi in EuroLeague, the defending champion defeated MZT 93-73. Macedonian hosts were depleted by injuries as Thames, Clark and Jurovski all had to sit this one out with injuries. With a short-handed rotation, MZT could rival Crvena zvezda for only 20 minutes, keeping the distance at a single digit. But even in those minutes, it was obvious MZT was struggling against the visiting team's aggressive defense, bringing a ton of pressure on ball handlers. Pressure paid off for Crvena zvezda in the third quarter that went in the favor of the team from Belgrade 30-15. Steals and defensive rebounds opened up 6 fast breaks for coach Dejan Radonic's team, and it was enough to break the home team's spirit. The game was definitely over for MZT when the best team in the league started hitting three-pointers that were quite elusive in the first half. The situation on the floor provided an opportunity for the debut of Petar Akicevic, who scored his first 3 points in the red and white jersey. With 65% from the field, 9 out of 19 threes and 20 assists as a team, Crvena zvezda had more than enough scorers, with Nemanja Dangubic leading the way with 16. Bjelica and Walters added 12 each, while Jovic scored 11 and dished out 10 assists. To top it all off, the visiting team had only 6 turnovers. Josh Scott made the best impression for the losing side with 21 points and 9 rebounds. Lalic added 15, while the Dutchman Clough scored 12 points, grabbed 7 rebounds and added 5 assists. With a win over Mornar 90-85 and thanks to Cedevita's win over Buducnost, Partizan took sole possession of the second place in the standings. Much like in the first round matchup, coach Aleksandar Džikic's team had a hard time overcoming the challenge from the Montenegrin squad. Even though the flu sapped the energy from the players and sidelined Novica Veličković, the home team raced ahead and kept the lead until the final minutes of the first quarter. It was Boris Bakic who finished the game with 12 assists, who led a comeback by the team from Bar. With good offensive rhythm, limited number of turnovers and a good dosage of offensive rebounds, Mornar matched the incredible three-point shooting prowess of the home team. Coach Đorđe Pavićević's team led by as much as 8, settling for a 5-point lead at the halftime. Not much changed in the third period, except for the fact Lamont Jones was glued to the bench with 4 personal fouls. Mornar's lead was back at 8 when Marinković sparked an incredible 14-0 run by Partizan with a 3 off the backboard. The home team picked up on defense during this run, doubling the number of turnovers by the visiting team. Mornar never gave up, grinding back to within 2 several times, but 3-pointers, 12 out of 24 overall, allowed Partizan to extend its winning streak to 5 games. Hatcher was the leading scorer with 17 points, 1 less, but with 8 rebounds were added by Birčević. Marinković missed only once on his way to 14, while Ratkovica made every one of his 13 points matter. Tatum led the scorers for the losing side with 20 points. Vuko Pavić added 13, while Ellis stopped at 10. Antabia, Tay Waller and Lamont Jones are Mornar's dynamic guard duo who impressed the most this season. Waller made his name as one of the most lethal shooters in ABA League. Following a successful college career at Northwest Florida State and Auburn, Waller set sail to Europe with confidence, believing his jump shot would take him to stardom.
My career first started in Turkey. I played 3 years in Turkey right after college, and it was a pretty successful season. And then I decided to go to Pristina. And then I got injured in Pristina, so I sat out 1 year.
Waller.
It's funny because actually I didn't think about it until like my last 10 games of my college career, because that's when I started scoring a lot of points and everybody started noticing, like NBA scouts coming to the game, because I was playing the best basketball of my life, you know. So it was like, that's when I noticed that, okay, maybe I can take this in basketball and make a career out of it.
How hard was it to take that step and move to Europe?
It was a big step because no one told me what to expect once I got here. So I just came in, and it was fortunate that I had teammates once I got to Turkey that also told me and helped me out with a lot of stuff that was going on overseas that I didn't know. Come overseas where you by yourself, but it was fortunate that I was with two good people that also helped me and made everything easy for me.
What does he think of the competition in ABA League?
The Adriatic League it's a very good league. It have a lot of good teams that is well respected around Europe in the Adriatic League. So every game you have to come out and play because you can get beat by any team. You can get beat by any team any night. So you have to come in and be focused, and if not, you will lose. And then you have to start over again. And there's really no easy games. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like it's no easy game. You have to come prepared to play every night.
Mornar's ambitions this season.
My current team right now, we just added 2 new players, so we're actually getting better. And our aim is not to be at the bottom of the league for sure. So we just want to keep building and keep trying to win games and put wins together and somehow get up to the middle of the pack. And then if we could make a playoff push, we will. But I mean, we have to be realistic at the same time. But we just trying to win every game, and hopefully we put some wins together to help us get in a better position.
How much does he like living in Bar?
I actually love Bar. I love it because it's great weather every day. You know, it's warmer there than it is in any other city in Europe. So, and the people is very nice, and the food is actually very good. So I actually like it. It actually, I want to say, is maybe the best city I've played in, like overall. I think because me and my wife, we love it there. So I think from her perspective and my perspective, I think it's maybe one of the best cities that we're played in.
In the first game of the 14th round and the first game of the second half of the season, FNP defeated Zadar in Železnik 94-77, led by the amazing Filip Čović. With Dragan Apić and Jonah Bolden providing assistance on offense, the home team was off to a great start, 13-4. They kept the pressure up on the visitors and took a 24-16 lead. But Jakov Vladović and Ivan Marinković jump-started a 7-0 scoring run for Zadar to bring their team within 2, 25-23 at the end of the first quarter. The lead changed hands throughout the second period, but the visiting team held the upper hand at the halftime, 44-43. Zadar held a 6-point lead several times in the third quarter, for the last time with the score 54-48, when FNP's Filip Čović suddenly caught fire. Čović scored 11 points in FNP's 18-6 run, enough to grab the lead once and for all. The amazing point guard would add 12 more until the end of the game, a total of 23 points in the second half. The game was over for Zadar when Apić scored at 81-75, following an assist by Čović, who followed up with his 5th three-pointer to take his team to an unreachable 86-75 lead. Apić finished the game with 22 points and 7 rebounds, going 9 for 9 from the field, while Čović led all scorers with 30 points and 10 assists. Bolden added 13 points and 9 rebounds, 5 on offense, along with a couple of great dunks. As usual, Marinković was Zadar's top performer with 21 points, while Boris Barac added 17. After this triumph, FNP has a 4-10 record, while Zadar sits at 5 wins and 9 losses. Olympia ran over Mega Leks in Ljubljana 82-69 for its 6th win this season. Coach of the youngest team in the regional competition, Dejan Milojevic, couldn't count on the injured Marko Tejic and Kostja Mushiri, who's playing for junior national team of Germany at the European Championship in Turkey. On the other end, Olympia was without Blaž Mesicek, who decided to continue his career in Italy. It was a nervous start for both teams, as it took them 3 minutes to score first points. Mega was up by 5 midway through the first period, but the home team responded with a 9-2 run to take the game over. In the second period, the teams were mostly even, but Mega's front court couldn't stop their former teammate Nikola Jankovic, who kept Olympia in the game. With an incredible buzzer-beater 3 by Brandon Jefferson, Olympia raced to a 9-point lead at the halftime, 41-33. Kasper Okorn's team opened up the third period with 7 unanswered points. Jankovic kept the pressure on his former team, and Olympia went up by 15. Mirko Mulalic was on fire in the third quarter as well, with 9 consecutive points. His bomb from the distance gave Olympia a 21-point lead midway through the third quarter. Visiting teams struggled with jump shots throughout the game. Turnovers kept mounting, and as it turns out, short-handed rotation on the center position was a huge problem, mostly on defense. Mulalic kept going in the fourth, and with another 3 gave Olympia the game-high 25-point lead, 67-42. All Mega could do is to soften the blow of the 10th loss this season. Despite 22 points from a former member of Olympia, Vlatko Čančar, Jankovic was the leading scorer for the winning side with 19, while Hrovat added 17 points. Krka suffered another decisive defeat without its best player, Marko Lukovic. Karpos turned Boris Trajkovski Hall into an impregnable fort with their 4th win in a row at home, this one with a score 83-56. Coach Dragan Nikolić's team lost the matchup in the first round, played in Novo Mesto by 17, but the vengeance was sweet in Skopje. Labovic and Vrkic were once again in superb form and took their team to an early 9-point lead. Krka was unable to jeopardize Karpos's lead, and with a buzzer-beater 3 from Kendrick Perry, they were up by 14 at the half. The visiting team completely lost it in the second half, allowing Karpos to take a game-high 33-point lead in the fourth quarter. Duško Bunić scored 8 points in his debut for Krka, but all he could do is to help the team decrease the deficit. The team from Novo Mesto had no scorers in double digits, but Dimec came close with 9. Karpos's players dominated in all aspects of the game, forced 15 turnovers, had 10 more rebounds, and allowed only 1 offensive rebound. After 50 combined points against Mega Leks, Vrkic-Labovic duo scored 43 points against Krka. Labovic scored 24 points with just 2 missed shots, while Vrkic scored 19 and had just 1 missed shot. Karpos grabbed an important 4th win this season and is definitely back in the fight to avoid relegation. In the final game of the 14th round, Cibona made easy work of Igokea, 84-61 in Dražen Petrović Basketball Hall. Home team held the lead from the very start, with Marin Rozic and Ante Žižić fueling an 8-2 run, which later grew to 17-6. Vuk Radivojević and Draško Albijanić pulled off 4 successful consecutive plays to reduce Igokea's deficit to 23-17. And with a 3-pointer by Blaž Mahkovic, came as close as 7. Soon after that, Cibona raced back to a double-digit lead, 33-22. But Igokea responded once again with 6 points in a row, and after Pašalić scored from transition, result was 33-28. But after that, there was only one team on the court. By the end of the first half, Cibona went on a 14-0 run, and in the second half, they scored first 8 points for a 22-0 run and a huge lead of 27 points. Albijanić ended that run in the 3rd minute of the second half, but to no avail, as the third period ended 67-39 in favor of the home team. At that moment, it was clear that Igokea won't be able to jeopardize Cibona's lead, and will follow a big loss against Partizan in Belgrade last weekend with another decisive one in Zagreb. Both coaches used the remaining time to empty their benches. Žižić, Rozic and Bošnjak scored 17 points each in Cibona's 4th consecutive win and 10th overall. Bošnjak went 5 for 6 from beyond the 3-point line in his best performance this season. Željko Šakić also scored in double digits with 10 points, while Skadi Reynolds added 4 points and 8 assists. For the losing side, Albijanić scored 18 points and added 6 rebounds, while Radivojević scored 9 points and dished out 9 assists, but had 6 turnovers. Most valuable player of the 14th round of ABA League was FNP's center Dragan Apic. Former member of Serbia's youth national teams led FNP to victory over Zadar. In 33 minutes of playing time, he scored 22 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, and added a steal and a block. Enough for a performance rating of 34 and the MVP honors, ahead of the top scorer in this round, his teammate Filip Čović, who scored 30 points against Zadar. We start off our top 5 plays of the round review in Železnik. MVP of the round Dragan Apic scores after an assist by Čović. Another great combo comes in at 4th. Cibona's Scotty Reynolds for Emir Sulejmanović. Third place goes to Partizan's Adin Vrabac with a powerful dunk. At number 2, alley-oop by Cedevita's Americans Boatwright and James. Top play of the round was performed by Crvena zvezda's point guard Stefan Jović. Great head fake and an assist for Nemanja Dangubić. And that would be all for this edition of ABBA Magazine. See you next week when we will have all the highlights from the round 15.